What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, the copper-colored coin you've probably ignored 1,000 times in your life, could secretly be worth close to $1 million? Imagine digging through an old jar of change in your kitchen drawer, the kind you've been meaning to take to the bank, and instead discovering a ticket to financial freedom. One coin, 1 cent, now suddenly valued at nearly $994,000 in today's market. Hard to believe, right? But it's true, and tonight, I'm going to show you exactly why the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might just be the most powerful piece of pocket change you've ever held. The first thing you need to know is that not all pennies are created equal. Most 1994 pennies aren't worth much more than face value. You could toss them into a vending machine, and nothing spectacular would happen. But a rare version of this coin, one without a mint mark and struck under highly unusual conditions, has quietly been rewriting the rules of coin collecting. Collectors, investors, and even wealthy buyers have been placing astronomical bids for this hidden treasure, driving its current market value into the stratosphere. If you're holding one, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding a financial miracle. Now let's dig into why this coin matters so much. Back in 1994, Lincoln cents were produced in massive numbers. Most were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and some bore mint marks from Denver and San Francisco. But every once in a while, a small mistake occurs in the minting process, and that's where history is made. A missing mint mark might sound insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, it's the difference between ordinary change and life-changing wealth. Think of it like a typo in a rare first edition book. The flaw becomes the feature, and scarcity turns into pure gold, or in this case, pure copper-plated zinc. Now here's where it gets thrilling. One of these 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies, in pristine uncirculated condition, has sold in the past for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, the current market value for a high-grade example is estimated at a staggering $994,000. That's a figure that could pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, or fund the kind of retirement most people only dream about. And yet, the irony is almost comical. You may have already touched one of these coins without realizing it. How many pennies have you casually handed over for a stick of gum or dropped into a tip jar? That simple act could have cost you a fortune. But before you start frantically dumping out your piggy banks, let's talk about what separates a $1 million penny from the everyday kind. Condition is everything. Coins that have never circulated, that have avoided scratches, discoloration, and wear, hold the highest value. Collectors crave perfection, and they're willing to pay a premium for it. So if you come across a 1994 penny with no mint mark, handle it like you would a fragile piece of art. No rubbing it on your jeans, no tossing it into a coin jar. Get it graded, get it protected, and only then should you even think about putting it up for sale. Now, here's a thought that should send chills down your spine. Somewhere right now there's a dusty old shoebox, a forgotten coffee can, or an inherited coin collection hiding one of these 1994 rarities. And someone, maybe you, is sitting on a coin worth nearly $1 million without even realizing it. Doesn't that make you want to double-check your pockets before tossing your laundry in the wash? The coin world is full of stories just like this. Ordinary people who stumble onto extraordinary wealth. A truck driver finds a rare coin in his change and ends up paying off all his debts. A retiree discovers an overlooked penny in a jar that turns into a six-figure windfall. The thrill of possibility isn't reserved for billionaires. It's sitting in the palm of your hand, waiting to be discovered. And that's what makes coin collecting so electrifying. It's not just about history, it's about opportunity. But here's the danger. Time is not on your side. Every year, more of these coins are bought, graded, and locked away in private collections, never to re-enter circulation. The window to stumble upon one is shrinking, and once they're gone for good. Imagine finding out 10 years from now that you had one but spent it at a gas station. That's the kind of regret that keeps people up at night. So the real question becomes, what will you do about it? Will you shrug this off and let the opportunity pass? Or will you take action tonight? Pull out that coin jar, sift through your old wallets, even dig into the change between your couch cushions. Because yes, the odds are slim, but the reward is extraordinary. And fortune has a funny way of favoring the curious, the persistent, the ones who actually look. Now, here's my final challenge for you. As you're checking those pennies, remember this: wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street, real estate, or winning the lottery. Sometimes, it comes from recognizing the overlooked, the forgotten, the humble penny sitting right under your nose. And if you do happen to find that elusive 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, you won't just be holding a coin. You'll be holding the key to rewriting your financial future. Before you rush off to start searching, hit that subscribe button. Because today, it's the 1994 penny. Tomorrow, I'll be showing you other coins just as rare, just as overlooked, and just as capable of transforming your life. Don't let the next secret slip away. Your million-dollar moment might only be one coin away. Imagine holding in your hand a simple copper coin that millions of people spent without a second thought. A penny so ordinary that most would let it slip through their fingers, lost in couches or tossed into jars. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, struck in 1988 with a tiny D mint mark beneath Lincoln's portrait, could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but nearly $1 million today? Yes, a coin you might have ignored your entire life could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. And if you think that sounds impossible, stay with me, because this story is about more than just money. It's about how opportunity hides in plain sight. The 1988 D. Lincoln penny has a secret. To most collectors, it's just another piece of pocket change. But experts know that a select few carry details so rare that they're prized like buried treasure. Picture this: an everyday penny, struck in the Denver Mint, that contains tiny flaws or transitional designs from a previous year. What seems like a mistake to the naked eye transforms into an opportunity worth life-changing sums. The current market value for the rarest of these examples sits at an astounding $988,000. And here's the truth: every one of these coins was once in circulation, which means right now one could be sitting in your change jar, in your desk drawer, or rattling around in your car. Think about the fear of missing out for a moment. What if you had one of these pennies already in your possession, but because you didn't know its value, you spent it at a gas station or handed it over at a vending machine? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? $1 million fortune passed off for a pack of gum. That's why knowledge is power. And that's why you're here, because you refuse to let hidden wealth escape your grasp. Now, let's break down what makes this coin so extraordinary. The 1988 D penny isn't always valuable on its own. What sets the $1 million coins apart are rare errors and varieties. Imagine minting machines operating at lightning speed, churning out pennies by the millions. But every once in a while, a tiny misalignment, a leftover die, or a design transition slips through. These errors aren't just mistakes. They're miracles for collectors. On the 1988 D, the most sought-after versions display a reverse design intended for 1989. It's like the mint accidentally left a fingerprint, a clue hidden for sharp-eyed treasure hunters. And here's the kicker: these coins are so unassuming that most people overlook them. That's what makes them valuable. Rarity plus demand equals extraordinary worth. Collectors will fight tooth and nail at auctions for the chance to own one. And when a coin is certified by a grading service in pristine condition, the bidding can skyrocket beyond belief. That's how we arrive at today's staggering figure: $988,000 for a single penny. But let's pause here. Doesn't it make you wonder how many of us walk past wealth every day without recognizing it? We dream of winning the lottery or striking oil, when sometimes the treasure is hiding in our pocket change. Isn't that almost hilarious? The coin most of us grumble about because it clutters our wallets may secretly hold the power to change our lives. So what should you do if you think you have a 1988 D penny? First, don't rush to spend it. Set it aside. Examine it under good light. Look at the details of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Compare it to other pennies you own. If you notice unusual design elements or striking differences, you may have something extraordinary. And if you're not sure, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. That small step could mean the difference between cashing in a fortune and letting it slip through your hands forever. Here's the urgency: you're not the only one searching. Collectors across the nation are hunting these pennies daily. The longer you wait, the greater the chance that yours might disappear unnoticed or get spent accidentally. Ask yourself this: would you rather be the person who found a rare penny and secured their family's future, Or the one who later realized they handed $1 million across a fast food counter? And let's be real, it's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of knowing you've uncovered something others missed. It's about turning a dusty jar of change into a key that unlocks financial freedom. For many, this could be the stepping stone to paying off debt, buying a dream home, or creating a lasting legacy. But before we wrap up, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. The 1988 D-penny is just one story. There are other coins just as ordinary, just as overlooked, hiding in plain sight with values just as shocking. Some are already sitting in homes across America, waiting for someone like you to recognize their worth. The question is, will you be ready when you find one? If you don't want to miss out on the next life-changing discovery, make sure you stay connected. Because every coin has a story, and the next story could belong to you. Subscribe now, and together we'll uncover the hidden fortunes hiding in your pocket. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing you're holding something worth nearly $1 million. It sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly the kind of hidden treasure hiding in plain sight across America. Today we're going to talk about a humble copper-colored coin, the 1985 Lincoln penny with a D-mint mark, and why some of these coins are being valued in the hundreds of thousands, up to an astonishing $985,000. Most people overlook pennies. They leave them in car cup holders, toss them into jars, or worse, refuse to pick them up when they see them on the ground. But imagine for a moment, the same coin you casually drop on the sidewalk could have been the missing piece to your financial freedom. The difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth a mansion, a luxury car, and a retirement plan comes down to details that most eyes never catch. And that's where opportunity lies. Here's the truth. The 1985 D. Lincoln penny isn't rare in itself. Millions were minted in Denver that year. But what transforms an ordinary coin into a millionaire's ticket are the errors, the striking anomalies, the tiny imperfections that turn it into a collector's dream. Double dies, misaligned strikes, off-center mintings, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. These are the kinds of mistakes that make coin collectors' hearts race. And it's those rare quirks that turn pocket change into gold mines. Now, you might be wondering, how can such a small mistake be worth so much? Imagine a painting with a rare brushstroke or a book with a misprint that exists in only a handful of copies. Scarcity creates value. Collectors will pay astronomical prices for a piece of history that almost wasn't supposed to exist. The 1985 D penny with certain minting errors is one of those legendary cases. And as recently as this year, one sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $985,000. Think about it. How many times have you had 1980s pennies pass through your hands? How many of them did you let slip away? That's where the urgency comes in. Every day, more of these coins are being discovered, sold, and tucked away in private collections. The window of opportunity is shrinking. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances of finding one that can change your financial destiny. But let's slow down for a moment. What should you actually be looking for? On the 1985 D penny, the most valuable errors often show up in the details of Abraham Lincoln's profile or the lettering along the rim. A double die can make the letters "In God We Trust" appear slightly doubled, almost like a shadow. The mint mark, the little d below the date, may look misplaced or even punched more than once. Sometimes the rim is uneven, the coin looks off-center, or it may even appear thinner than usual if it was struck on the wrong planchet. These are not obvious mistakes, but once you train your eye, they practically jump out at you. Here's where it gets interesting. Ordinary collectors and even casual treasure hunters have pulled these coins from coffee cans, dresser drawers, and inherited piggy banks. One man in Arizona found his while emptying a jar of coins his grandfather left behind. He thought it was just sentimental pocket change until he noticed the doubling on the date. That single penny ended up selling for enough money to pay off his mortgage and buy him a brand new truck. Now ask yourself, what's sitting in your drawer right now that could be doing the same for you? Of course, not every 1985 D penny is a jackpot. Most are worth exactly 1 cent, some a few dollars if they're in pristine condition. But here's the twist: if you find one with the right flaw, even a subtle one, the jump in value is astronomical. That's the gamble, the thrill, and the promise of coin hunting. And it's why collectors are willing to pay so much. They're not just buying a coin, they're buying a piece of history, a mistake frozen in time, a one-of-a-kind artifact that no mint could ever recreate. Now let's talk about the market. With so much attention on rare pennies in recent years, the value of these error coins has skyrocketed. Auctions are becoming more competitive, private collectors are hunting harder, and the prices are climbing higher than anyone thought possible a decade ago. Just last year, a similar error penny broke records, and experts believe the trend isn't slowing down anytime soon. The demand is outpacing supply, and when that happens, the sky is the limit. So here's the real question. What if you already own one? What if, buried in your collection, sits a 1985 D penny worth a fortune? The only way to know is to start looking, start inspecting, and start educating yourself. Don't dismiss those old coins gathering dust. Each one is a potential miracle waiting to happen. And here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Because for every person who discovers a life-changing coin, there are countless others who toss them aside without ever knowing. One penny ends up funding a new life, while another gets lost forever in circulation. Which side of that story do you want to be on? It all comes down to action. If you've ever dreamed of financial freedom, if you've ever wanted a chance to leap from ordinary to extraordinary, the opportunity is right in front of you. Start with your change jar. Start with the coins in your pocket. Start today, because every day you wait is another day someone else cashes in on the treasure you could have found. And if the story lit a fire in you, if you're ready to discover more coins that could be hiding millions in plain sight, make sure you subscribe. The next coin we talk about might just be the one sitting in your hand right now, waiting to change everything. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. Just 1 cent, something most people toss into a drawer or leave behind on a counter without a second thought. Now imagine that same coin being worth nearly $1 million. Hard to believe, right? But the 1995 D Lincoln penny, a coin so ordinary it slips unnoticed through countless hands, has become a quiet legend in the world of rare coins, carrying a current market value soaring to $995,000. Every great discovery begins with something overlooked. And the truth is, this coin isn't just about copper and zinc. It's about opportunity. It's about finding wealth where others see nothing. Most people don't even know such a coin exists, let alone that it could change someone's financial life forever. You might have one buried in an old jar, sitting in a box of forgotten change, or tucked away in a family collection passed down through the years. But why this penny? Why 1995? The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year. Yet, hidden among them are coins with flaws, details, and qualities that make collectors stop in their tracks. Some showcase striking errors, double dies, unusual strikes, and rare variations. Others, in pristine, uncirculated condition, are nearly impossible to find. Think about it. Millions were minted, but how many survived untouched, perfect, unblemished? Almost none. That scarcity is where fortune is born. The market for rare coins is exploding. Collectors are no longer just coin enthusiasts. They're investors, driven by the hunger to own something rare, something timeless. And when demand collides with scarcity, prices don't just rise, they skyrocket. Imagine an everyday penny turning into the down payment on your dream home, a ticket to financial freedom, or even an inheritance to pass down to your family. It's not just money, it's legacy. But here's the catch. Most people who stumble upon coins like this don't even realize what they have. They give them away, spend them, or sell them to pawn shops for a fraction of their worth. That's the fear every collector dreads, the idea of watching a $1 million penny slip right through their fingers. So if you have a 1995 D Lincoln penny, the question isn't whether it's valuable. The real question is, do you know how to tell if it's the right one? Let's paint the picture. Imagine opening that jar of old coins in your kitchen. You pick one up, noticing the tiny D just below the date, 1995. At first glance, it's nothing special. But then you look closer. The lettering looks a little different, the strike sharper than usual, maybe even doubled. Your heart races. Could this be the one? That's where the thrill begins. Collectors pay small fortunes for flawless condition. A penny that's never been scratched, circulated, or dulled by time can fetch unbelievable prices. The difference between a penny worth a few dollars and one worth nearly a million often comes down to the tiniest details. That's why experts use magnifiers, scales, and precise grading systems. To the untrained eye, it's just a coin. To a collector, it's gold disguised as copper. Now think about this. The rarest 1995 D pennies don't just vanish into thin air. They're out there. In drawers. In basements. In inherited collections gathering dust. And every year, fewer of them remain in top condition. Every day, the odds shift, and the urgency grows. Waiting could mean missing your chance forever. And yet, this is where excitement meets reality. Imagine the moment you realize you've been sitting on life-changing wealth without even knowing it. That moment when the fear of missing out transforms into the thrill of discovery. It's almost cinematic. Your heart pounding, your breath catching, and the world suddenly looking brighter. All from a single penny. So what should you do if you find one? First, don't rush to cash it in. Get it professionally graded. Protect it. The right certification can be the difference between a few thousand and nearly $1 million. And never underestimate the power of timing. Right now, collectors are paying top dollar, and the market shows no sign of slowing. The window is open, but who knows how long it will stay that way. If you've ever dreamed of living a wealthier lifestyle, of finding financial freedom without working a lifetime for it, this is your moment. Rare coins like the 1995 D Lincoln penny aren't just historical artifacts. They're hidden treasures waiting for the right person to recognize them. That person could be you. Now, here's the cliffhanger. Somewhere, right now, someone is holding a 1995 D penny worth nearly $1 million, and they have no idea. Could be in your wallet. Could be in your desk. Could be in your pocket at this very moment. The only question is, will you take a closer look, or will you let it slip away unnoticed? If you want more stories like this, more opportunities to uncover hidden wealth in everyday coins, make sure to subscribe. Don't let fortune pass you by. The next coin we reveal could be the key to your financial future, and you won't want to miss it. Imagine holding in your hand a simple penny that could secretly be worth more than a luxury car, a dream vacation, even the down payment on a mansion. Now picture that penny being a 2016 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, sitting unnoticed in your change jar, and the market value of rare examples reaching as high as $216,000. Most people would toss it aside without a second thought. But what if I told you this tiny copper-plated coin might carry the power to completely change your financial story? The penny has always been underestimated. It jingles at the bottom of pockets, hides under couch cushions, and gets shrugged off at cash registers. But hidden among billions of ordinary coins are rare survivors, mistakes of history, quirks of minting, and anomalies that collectors would pay fortunes to own. And the 2016 no-mint mark penny is one of those elusive treasures. Now here's where it gets interesting. The 2016 Lincoln penny was struck at multiple facilities, and normally you'd find a D for Denver or even an S for proof issues. But when a coin surfaces without a mint mark, alarm bells go off in the collecting world. Why? Because that absence can signal a minting error. Errors are the holy grail for collectors. They transform an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime artifact. And when scarcity and demand collide, values explode. Imagine stumbling across one of these rare, no-mint mark 2016 pennies in a roll you bought for face value. Imagine knowing that collectors are bidding hundreds of thousands just to own one. The fear of overlooking it should send you running to your coin jar right now. Think about it, what if you've already spent one? Sliding it across a counter for a cup of coffee? That thought alone makes your heart race, doesn't it? But here's the secret most people don't realize. Not every coin without a mint mark is valuable. Many are common. The real fortune lies in condition, rarity, and whether your penny shows traits that only the experts know how to identify. Tiny details like die variations, striking pressure, or even double die errors can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one that will sell for 6 figures at auction. You don't need to be a professional numismatist to recognize these things, but you do need curiosity, patience, and the willingness to look closer than the average person. Think of it this way. Every coin you pass over is a lottery ticket. But unlike the lottery, the odds here are better because history, human error, and sheer chance have already planted treasures in circulation. And isn't there something thrilling about the idea that your next handful of change could be your golden ticket? Collectors are already on the hunt. Some coins have traded hands in private sales for staggering amounts, up to that $216,000 mark. These aren't fairy tales or internet rumors. These are real transactions happening in the shadowy world of high-end numismatics, where wealthy investors snap up rare coins the way others collect fine art. The longer you wait, the fewer of these coins remain unclaimed. And once they vanish into private collections, they're gone for good. Here's a little perspective. The penny in your hand today may seem like a trifle, but to a collector, it might represent the missing piece of a set they've been building for years. They'll pay almost anything to secure it. That urgency drives competition. And when bidders compete, values skyrocket. So when you hear someone scoff at the idea of a penny being worth six figures, just smile and know they have no idea what's really happening. Now ask yourself, how would it feel to cash in a single coin and suddenly have the means to pay off debts, fund your retirement, or even take that dream vacation you've always postponed? Would you regret not checking your change a little closer if the chance slipped through your fingers? The truth is, opportunity rarely knocks twice, and these pennies won't circulate forever, so here's the challenge for you. The next time you receive change, don't ignore those little copper discs. Search carefully. Hold them under the light. Look for the year 2016 and check for the absence of a mint mark. If you're unsure, keep it anyway. A single mistake in judgment could cost you a fortune. And if you do find one, get it graded, authenticated, and appraised, because the right coin could put you on a path toward the lifestyle most people only dream of. 1 cent, transformed into hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the kind of miracle hiding in plain sight. And the question is, are you willing to look closely enough to find it before someone else does? If you want more strategies, insider secrets, and tips on coins that are worth life-changing amounts of money, make sure you subscribe. Don't just let opportunity pass you by. Prepare yourself to recognize it when it lands in the palm of your hand. After all, the wealth you've been chasing your entire life might already be resting in your pocket right now. Picture this for a moment. You're cleaning out an old drawer, or maybe just sorting through change you barely glance at every day. A dull copper penny rolls across the table. You almost push it aside. But then you notice something different. That penny, the kind you've spent a lifetime ignoring, could be worth not just a few cents, not just a few hundred, but up to millions of dollars. And right now, one particular version of the 2014 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark is shaking up the collector world with a staggering market value soaring past $214,000. This isn't just a story about a coin. It's about the possibility of hidden fortune, sitting quietly in your pocket, your jar of change, or in a forgotten shoebox. The truth is, every great treasure begins as something ordinary until someone dares to look closer. And tonight, you're about to discover why that little 1-cent coin could be your golden ticket. Now let's be honest. When most people hear the word penny, they roll their eyes. A penny? Really? Who even bends down to pick one up off the street anymore? But the reality is, collectors across America are quietly paying life-changing amounts for the rarest examples of coins just like this. Imagine someone laughing at you for holding onto a penny, and then imagine selling that same penny for more than the price of a luxury home. Suddenly, it doesn't sound so silly. The 2014 D Lincoln penny stands out because of its striking mint mark, its limited runs of rare errors, and the sheer obsession collectors have for the smallest imperfections. A double die strike, a misaligned minting, or an uncirculated condition straight from a sealed roll could push the value into 6 or even 7 figures. That's the kind of money that doesn't just change a weekend, it changes a legacy. Here's the part most people never hear. While billions of pennies were minted that year, only a handful with certain flaws and pristine conditions make it to the rarefied air of serious collectors. It's not about luck alone, it's about knowledge. If you know what to look for, you suddenly hold the upper hand. Imagine holding in your hand what looks like pocket change and realizing it could cover the down payment on a mansion or even the college tuition for your kids. That's the thrill and that's the urgency. Of course, you might be thinking, how realistic is this? Do people really get rich from pocket change? Let's put it this way. Every year, everyday Americans walk into coin shows, antique shops, or even pawn stores with nothing more than a coin they've saved since childhood, and they walk out with checks that change their lives. The only difference between them and everyone else is that they bothered to look a little closer. But here's the cliffhanger most never see coming. Right now, collectors are in a frenzy. Demand for rare Lincoln cents is surging, and the supply of pristine 2014 D examples is drying up fast. The longer they wait, the fewer opportunities there are to find these gems in circulation. And once they're locked away in private collections, they don't come back out. That's when values skyrocket. Missing out isn't just about losing a few dollars. It's about losing a once-in-a-lifetime chance to claim your share of wealth hidden in plain sight. Now, before you dump out that coffee can of coins in your garage, let's inject a little humor here. Isn't it funny how we spend years chasing wealth, hustling for raises, stressing over investments, all while the secret to fortune may have been jingling in our pocket the entire time? Talk about irony. Who knew Uncle Sam was secretly handing out lottery tickets disguised as pennies? So here's what you do. Take your time. Go through your coins carefully. Look for that 2014 penny with the D mark, especially ones that seem uncirculated, flawless, or have strange little errors in the lettering, the rim, or even Lincoln's face. If you're not sure, there are grading services and trusted dealers who can confirm what you've found. Because once confirmed, that humble penny might just join the elite club of coins that fetch hundreds of thousands, even millions. And now comes the final, most important truth. This isn't really about a coin. It's about opportunity. It's about the discipline to recognize value where others see nothing. It's about being awake in a world where most people are asleep. The 2014 D Lincoln penny is just one shining example. But if you can train your eye, if you can teach yourself to look closer, then pennies become more than coins. They become symbols of possibility. So ask yourself right now, are you going to let that penny slip through your fingers? Or are you going to take a closer look and maybe, just maybe, uncover a treasure that sets you on the path to wealth you never thought possible? If you're serious about uncovering hidden treasures in the coins you already own, if you're ready to chase the thrill of discovery and the freedom of wealth, then don't miss the next videos. Subscribe, because the world of rare coins is full of secrets, and each one could be the key to the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. Because sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the biggest fortune. And your story might just be the next one worth telling. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like the most ordinary coin in America. A copper-colored penny, worn slightly from years of circulation, passed through countless hands without a second thought. But what if I told you that one of these pennies, minted in 2013 with no mint mark, could secretly be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but up to millions of dollars? And that right now, one of these coins carries a current market value of $213,000. Suddenly, that tiny piece of change doesn't feel so small anymore, does it? Here's the unsettling truth. Most people have already touched a fortune and never realized it. They let it slip right through their fingers, straight into a vending machine or back into the cashier's drawer. And that is the fear that keeps seasoned collectors awake at night, wondering if they've already let the opportunity of a lifetime vanish without even knowing it. The 2013 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is one of those rare anomalies that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Normally, coins minted in Denver carry a small D, while those in Philadelphia, traditionally, either bear no mint mark or carry one depending on the issue. But in this particular year, a small error created an unusual situation, and that tiny detail transformed what should have been a common coin into a numismatic treasure. Now, let's pause for a moment and ask, how many of us toss pennies into jars, glove compartments, or junk drawers? We dismiss them as almost worthless. But history has shown time and again that it's the smallest coins, the forgotten ones, that can change lives. The difference is knowledge. And knowledge, in this case, is worth more than gold. Picture this. A single coin, identical to millions of others in appearance, suddenly becomes the key to paying off your mortgage, sending your kids to college, or finally taking that dream vacation you've postponed for years. That's what this penny represents. Hidden potential waiting for someone bold enough to uncover it. And here's the twist. Many of these coins are still out there, lost in circulation, unrecognized by the casual eye. Collectors, dealers, and auction houses are already on the hunt. The most pristine examples of this 2013 no-mint mark penny have fetched jaw-dropping prices. The top specimen known today sits at an astonishing $213,000, and the demand shows no sign of slowing down. Imagine if tomorrow another flawless coin surfaced, perhaps selling for even more. Would you really want to risk letting it pass you by? But before you go racing to empty every coin jar in your house, let's ground ourselves for a moment. Not every 2013 penny will make you rich. Condition is everything. The coin's luster, its sharpness, the absence of scratches. These are the details that separate pocket change from life-changing wealth. Professional grading services exist for this very reason, to authenticate and value coins like this. And yes, if you find one, it's absolutely worth the cost of grading, because the difference between a penny worth $1 and one worth 200,000 can be razor thin. Now let's address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, what are the odds? After all, millions of pennies were minted in 2013. Why should you believe that one rare piece could land in your possession? But here's the thing. Every collector's story starts with someone who doubted, who thought, not me, not my coin. Until one day, they held in their hand the discovery that changed everything. And let's be honest. Haven't you ever wondered if you've walked past wealth hidden in plain sight? That's the excitement and the fear combined. You could already own the key to financial freedom and not even know it. Think about that for a second. Doesn't it make you want to look just a little closer? Here's what you need to do. Start simple. Gather your coins. Focus on your 2013 pennies. Look carefully at the obverse at Lincoln's portrait. Check for the absence of a mint mark. Study the details. And if you think you've found something extraordinary, don't hesitate. Protect that coin, seek professional evaluation, and act before someone else beats you to the punch. Time in the world of rare coins is always running out. The market for collectibles is driven by scarcity, and scarcity creates urgency. Every day, more coins are lost, damaged, or discarded. Every day, another collector joins the race. And every day, the value of the rarest examples inches higher. The question is not whether this coin is valuable. It already is. The real question is, will you be the one who finds it? So tonight, when you empty your pockets or glance at that dusty jar of change, remember this: your future might not be in the stock market, in real estate, or in some new tech startup. It might just be sitting quietly in a forgotten penny, waiting for you to notice it. Don't let that opportunity slip away. If you're serious about unlocking the secrets of rare coins, about turning pocket change into wealth, then stay with me on this journey. There are more hidden treasures waiting to be revealed, and the next one could be sitting in your hands right now. If you found this eye-opening and you want to learn about other coins worth life-changing money, make sure to subscribe. Because in the world of rare coins, the next big discovery is always closer than you think, and you don't want to miss it. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. It looks ordinary, brown, worn, maybe tossed in a jar or forgotten in a drawer. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, struck in 2007 with a small D mint mark, could be worth not 1 cent, but hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in rare cases, even millions? Suddenly, that copper-colored coin doesn't feel so ordinary anymore. Does it? Most people glance over spare change without a second thought. But history has a way of hiding treasures in plain sight. The 2007 D Lincoln penny, a coin that many dismiss as modern and common, has become one of the most intriguing examples of overlooked value in American currency. Its current market value has climbed as high as $207,000, and rare collectors believe it has the potential to reach even more. Now, think about the last time you handled change at the grocery store. Could you have been holding a fortune without realizing it? The story of this penny is not just about metal and numbers. It's about opportunity, luck, and the thin line between the everyday and the extraordinary. Picture this. A hardworking man in Colorado discovers a penny in his father's old coin collection. At first, he thinks nothing of it, until a coin dealer notices the minting irregularities, the subtle details that separate a rare specimen from pocket change. That one coin alone secured his family's financial future. And here's the truth. Anyone, including you, could stumble into the same discovery. Isn't it amazing how a single overlooked detail could shift the entire course of your life? So why is this 2007 penny worth so much more than the cent it was designed to represent? Comes down to a blend of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Certain pennies from this year were struck with unique errors, double dies, off-center strikes, even uncirculated examples that still shine as though they were minted yesterday. And when you combine scarcity with collector obsession, values soar to unbelievable heights. That's how an ordinary piece of copper-plated zinc can transform into a $207,000 ticket to freedom. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to trade a single coin for a luxury car or a down payment on a dream home? Now, here's the part that makes people nervous. In the best way. These pennies are out there, hidden in sock drawers, piggy banks, and coin jars across the country. Millions of people have handled them, and only a handful realized what they were holding. The fear of missing out is real, because the window of opportunity narrows every single year. As collectors snatch them up and as coins degrade over time, the chance to find one worth 6 or even 7 figures dwindles. Ask yourself this. If you knew there was a lottery ticket lying on your kitchen counter, would you just walk past it? But before you start emptying every coin jar in your house, here's the key. Not every 2007 penny is valuable. Condition is everything. Collectors prize coins graded at the highest levels. Mint state 65 and above, where every detail of Abraham Lincoln's profile is crisp, every letter of liberty sharp, and the shine untouched by circulation. Those are the coins that auction houses fight over. So the real question isn't whether you own a 2007 penny, it's whether you own the right one. That's where knowledge separates the dreamers from the wealthy. Think about it. Every wealthy collector you've ever seen started with the same ordinary pocket change as the rest of us. The difference is they looked closer. They knew when to pay attention. And sometimes, wealth doesn't arrive in the form of a paycheck, an inheritance, or a business deal. Sometimes it arrives in the form of a penny you almost spent on a cup of coffee. Doesn't that make you wonder what might already be in your possession? And here's where it gets exciting. Imagine taking that coin to an auction and watching the bidding climb. 50,000, 80,000, 150,000. A hush falls over the room as the final gavel slams. $207,000. A life-changing sum earned from a coin most people would overlook. That's not just money, that's freedom. Freedom from debt. Freedom to retire early. Freedom to live the life you've always imagined. Can you feel the weight of that penny shifting into the weight of a brand new life? The journey of the 2007 Lincoln penny is more than a story about coins. It's a reminder that opportunity is always closer than we think. It hides in the mundane, the everyday, the overlooked. And those who are willing to see beyond the obvious are the ones who reap the rewards. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, open that dusty jar of coins, check your change, look at every penny with fresh eyes, because the next $207,000 treasure might already be in your hands. And missing it would be one of the most expensive mistakes of your life. If you found this story inspiring, and you want to learn more secrets about the coins hiding in plain sight that could change your future forever, make sure you subscribe right now. Don't wait. Your wealth could already be sitting in your pocket, and together we'll uncover it, one coin at a time. Imagine finding a penny so ordinary that you almost overlook it, only to discover it could be worth more than your house. That's the story behind the 2006 mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin most people toss into a jar without a second thought. And yet, under the right conditions, it has sold for staggering sums, up to millions of dollars. Today, its current market value is a jaw-dropping $206,000. Yes, you heard that right. Penny worth a fortune. But here's the catch. Most people have no idea what to look for. Every day, rare coins slip through fingers, get spent at grocery stores, or vanish into piggy banks, their owners completely unaware they're holding a life-changing treasure. What if one of those coins is sitting in your pocket right now? The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, but the 2006 series hides a secret. It was minted in Denver, millions of them churned out like clockwork. Most were utterly ordinary. But within that massive production, a small handful emerged with microscopic differences. Tiny flaws, striking errors, or perfectly preserved conditions. That's where the magic happens. In coin collecting, perfection is power, and rarity is wealth. Think about it this way. Imagine two identical cars parked side by side. One is scratched and dented, the other spotless, factory perfect. Which one would collectors fight for? The same principle applies to coins. A flawless 2006 penny, graded at the highest levels, can spark bidding wars that push its value beyond imagination. And errors, those quirky accidents of the minting process, transform an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Some coins from this year show double strikes, die cracks, or unusual surfaces that make them incredibly rare. A collector doesn't just see a penny. They see history misprinted, a mistake frozen in time, and the chance to own something no one else has. That's why values can skyrocket into six figures and beyond. Now, you might be wondering, why haven't I heard of this before? That's the beauty and tragedy of the coin world. Knowledge is everything. Those who know win. Those who don't let treasures slip away for a single cent. It's a quiet game of awareness, where only the attentive and the curious reap the rewards. Picture this. A man cleaning out his father's desk stumbles upon a jar of pennies. He almost takes them to the bank, but curiosity makes him check online first. Buried in that jar sits a 2006 penny in pristine, mint state condition. He sends it to be graded, and when it comes back, the news shakes his world. It's valued at over $200,000. That one coin alone covers debts, pays for college, and funds a dream lifestyle. Can you imagine being in his shoes? Of course, not every penny will make you rich. And that's where the urgency comes in. Every day that passes, coins circulate, get damaged, or vanish. Condition is everything, and the window of opportunity is closing. Collectors want uncirculated, sharp, untouched pieces. The longer you wait, the fewer of these coins survive, and the more valuable the best examples become. So what should you do? First, check your stash. Dig through your change jars, wallets, and coin rolls. Look for that tiny D beneath the date. If you find a 2006 penny that seems unusually sharp or flawless, don't spend it. Don't even clean it. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, research coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it the credibility that collectors demand. Now, let's step back for a moment. Why are coins like this worth so much? Because they're not just metal. They're stories, symbols of history, and pieces of a puzzle that collectors across the globe obsess over. When you own one, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding power. Financial power, yes, but also the power to say you saw value where others saw nothing. Isn't that the secret to wealth in life itself? Recognizing opportunity before the crowd does. And here's the thought that should keep you up tonight. If a penny from 2006 can be worth over $200,000, what else might be hiding in your drawers, your attic, or your spare change? What other overlooked treasures have you been handing to cashiers without realizing their true worth? The truth is, the wealthy don't just work harder, they see differently. They notice the rare, the hidden, the overlooked. They know that fortune favors the attentive. You now have that knowledge. The only question is, what will you do with it? Before you rush off to dig through your coins, remember this. Every coin is a lottery ticket, but only if you know the winning numbers. And today, I've just given you one of them, the 2006 mint Mark Lincoln Penny. So if you want to unlock more of these secrets, if you're serious about building wealth from the treasures already in your home, make sure you stay connected here. Because the next coin we reveal might just be the one that changes your life forever. Are you ready to discover it? Imagine opening a dusty drawer and finding a penny you've overlooked for years. Just 1 cent. Nothing special, right? But what if I told you that the very coin you might brush aside, a simple 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, could secretly be worth more than most people's homes? Some of these coins are selling for a staggering $205,000 in today's market, and certain rare varieties have reached into the millions. Suddenly, that drawer doesn't seem so ordinary anymore. The truth is, wealth often hides in plain sight, and this story isn't just about a coin. It's about recognizing the overlooked treasures in your life before it's too late. Think about it. How many times have you spent a penny without even glancing at it? How many times did you assume there was no value in what you already held? Fear of missing out on a fortune is real, and it's happening to collectors and everyday people across the country who fail to check their change. Let's break down why the 2005 no-mint mark penny is so extraordinary. Normally, coins bear tiny letters that tell us where they were made. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. But on these rare 2005 Lincoln cents, that mint mark is missing. At first glance, you'd never notice. But to a trained eye or a lucky one, this tiny detail transforms an ordinary cent into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. It's the kind of mistake that should never have left the mint. Yet somehow it did. And now those coins are circulating silently among us, waiting to be found. Collectors go wild for errors like this. Why? Because rarity drives value. Think of it like real estate. Scarcity makes prices skyrocket. If only a small number of 2005 pennies escape the mint without a mark, their value will only climb as more are discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections. The law of supply and demand working in your favor if you're the one holding it. Imagine the thrill of finding one. Your hands start shaking, your heart pounds, and suddenly you're staring at a penny that could cover your mortgage, wipe out debt, or fund a dream retirement. Fear kicks in too. What if you'd already spent one without knowing? What if the fortune you seek slipped through your fingers at the gas station, at the grocery store, in a cup of change you gave away? That thought alone should be enough to send you digging through every penny in your possession. But here's the kicker: you don't need to be a lifelong collector to profit. Ordinary people, just like you, are discovering these coins in their pockets, their piggy banks, and even in jars of spare change passed down from parents. And when they do, the life-changing shift is immediate. Picture this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, sorting coins for fun, and suddenly, one penny stares back at you without that tiny mint mark. You grab a magnifying glass, and your world changes in an instant. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can something so small, so insignificant, be worth so much? Isn't it just luck? Well, luck plays a part, sure, but knowledge is power. The people who know what to look for are the ones who win big. It's like spotting a diamond in the dirt. Only those who recognize its sparkle know to pick it up. The rest just walk away. And walking away here could mean losing out on $200,000. Or more. Let's add a little humor to lighten the tension. Imagine explaining to your spouse why you're hunched over a pile of pennies at midnight. Don't worry, honey. I'm not losing my mind. I'm looking for our new house. It just happens to be hiding on a penny. Sounds crazy, right? But when you cash in that coin, who's laughing then? Now, here's the part that keeps collectors awake at night. Coins like this don't just appear every day. As more are discovered, fewer remain in circulation. And with demand climbing, the market value only rises. Today, it's $205,000. Tomorrow, who knows? This is the urgency. This is why checking your coins now, not next week, not next year, could be the difference between holding wealth or losing it forever. I want you to picture your own life with this coin in your hand. No more worrying about bills. No more second-guessing big dreams. A single penny unlocking freedom. It's almost poetic. The lowest form of currency turning into the highest form of opportunity. So the next time you see a 2005 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, don't dismiss it. Hold it, study it, protect it. Because in that moment, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding possibility, security, and maybe even the future you've been waiting for. And if you want to keep discovering coins that could transform your life, stay connected right here. There are countless stories like this, countless treasures hiding in plain sight. Hit subscribe because the next coin we uncover together might just be the one that changes everything for you. Now tell me, are you ready to start searching? Because the clock is ticking, and your fortune might already be in your pocket. Picture this. You're holding a coin so small it fits between your fingertips, yet it carries the weight of nearly $1 million. A simple penny, a coin that most people toss into jars or leave forgotten in car cup holders, could be the very thing that changes your life forever. And here's the kicker. It's not ancient. It's not buried treasure. It's something as ordinary as a 1998 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth close to $1 million? That sounds impossible. But let me tell you, The impossible happens every single day in the world of coin collecting. Hidden in plain sight, these tiny copper treasures sit in old coffee cans, shoe boxes, or even in your pocket change. The problem is, most people don't know what they're looking at. And by the time they find out, someone else has already taken it, graded it, and sold it for an amount that could have bought them a luxury home. The 1998 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare anomalies. At first glance, it looks like every other penny in circulation. Abraham Lincoln's profile, the date, the usual details. But the absence of a mint mark, that little letter you usually see under the year, turns this ordinary coin into something extraordinary. And if you're lucky enough to find one in pristine condition, you're looking at a current market value that's been recorded as high as $998,000. Think about that, 1 cent becoming a ticket to financial freedom. But why does this happen? Why would a tiny mistake, a missing letter, drive collectors into a frenzy and push values into the stratosphere? The answer lies in rarity. Coins with errors or anomalies are like celebrities. They stand out in a crowd of billions. Collectors know they'll never see another one exactly like it, so they're willing to pay unimaginable amounts to own a piece of history. It's not just money. It's legacy, status, and pride all rolled into one. Now here's where things get interesting. Imagine you're sorting through a jar of coins. You see some nickels, some dimes, a couple of tarnished pennies. You almost toss them aside until suddenly, one catches your eye. The year is 1998, but there's no little letter under the date. Your heart skips. Could this be the one? This is the exact moment collectors live for, the split second when an ordinary person discovers their golden goose. And most people don't even know it's possible. Of course, not every 1998 penny without a mint mark will be worth close to $1 million. Condition is everything. A coin graded as mint state, untouched by circulation, can command life-changing sums. But even lower-grade versions of this coin can bring in thousands. And here's the secret: the people who cash in aren't always professional collectors. They're everyday individuals who simply took the time to learn what to look for. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many life-changing pennies are hiding right now in your wallet, your desk drawer, or that old jar in the kitchen? How many fortunes have slipped through fingers because someone thought, it's just a penny? That's the fear and the urgency at the heart of this story. Missing it once could mean missing out on your shot forever. But here's the exciting part. Opportunities like this don't last forever. Markets change, collectors shift their attention, and trends fade. The 1998 no-mint mark penny is having its moment, and the smart ones are seizing it. It's not just about selling a coin. It's about unlocking a door to a life of possibility. Vacations that were once daydreams, homes that seemed out of reach, a future that feels secure. That's the true power hidden in these rare pennies. And maybe you're thinking, well, what if I never find one? Let me tell you this: every successful collector started with a single coin. They didn't all stumble upon $1 million penny on day one. They built knowledge, they learned the signs, and over time they uncovered opportunities others overlooked. So even if you don't find this exact coin, training your eye today could lead you to the next jackpot tomorrow. So let me leave you with this picture. Somewhere in America, someone will go to bed tonight with no idea that the fortune they've been dreaming about is sitting in a dusty jar, waiting to be noticed. Will that someone be you? Or will you let another person grab it first? If you're serious about turning old coins into wealth, start looking, start learning, and don't waste another second. And if you want more strategies, more secrets, and more stories of ordinary coins turning into extraordinary fortunes, make sure you subscribe right now. The next life-changing discovery might be hiding in your pocket, and you'll want to be the first to know. Because remember, sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest value, and your 1 cent might just be worth $1 million. Picture this: you're holding a simple penny in your hand. Just another copper coin you've tossed into the jar on your dresser or the cup holder in your car. But what if I told you that a certain 1996 Lincoln penny could be worth not just a few cents, but close to $1 million? Yes, the kind of money that could change your entire lifestyle. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a fantasy. But here's the truth: you could already have one of these tiny treasures hiding in your pocket change right now. Think about it. Most people glance at a penny and shrug. They see nothing but a coin that can't even buy a gumball anymore. But serious collectors, experts who spend their lives studying these coins, know something the average person doesn't. A small error, a missing detail, or an unusual minting mark can turn ordinary copper into pure gold. And for the 1996 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, that secret has already rewritten the financial destiny of a few very lucky owners. Now let's slow down for a second. Why this penny? Why 1996? Why the D-Mint mark? Because Denver's mint produced over 6 billion of these coins. When something is made in such massive numbers, mistakes are almost inevitable. But not every mistake is created equal. Some errors are so subtle that most people will never notice them. Others are bold, shocking, the kind of striking difference that makes collectors' jaws drop and checkbooks open. The 1996 D penny carries that potential. Under the right conditions, one in pristine shape with specific rare minting anomalies has reached current market values soaring as high as $996,000. Yes, that's not a typo, nearly $1 million for a single penny. So imagine it. You're at the grocery store, fishing out a coin to pay. You're about to hand over a fortune without realizing it. That's the fear, isn't it? That right now you might already have your $1 million penny, and without even knowing, you'll spend it on a pack of gum or let it slip through your fingers into someone else's jar. But here's the exciting part. You don't need to be a professional numismatist to spot the potential. Look closely at your 1996 pennies. Is the mint mark slightly doubled? Do you see an unusual die crack? Or sharp edges where they shouldn't be? Is the coin in near-perfect condition with no scratches or fading? These tiny clues are signals to collectors that they're not looking at just another penny. They're staring at a rare gem. And when collectors see gems, they compete. They outbid each other. That's when a penny's price soars into the hundreds of thousands. And yet, let's be honest, most of us don't bother checking. We throw pennies into jars, we ignore them in parking lots, we let them roll under the couch and disappear forever. That's where the opportunity slips away. Because the person who actually takes a moment, who actually cares enough to check, can be the one who finds financial freedom in the most unexpected place. The 1996 D penny isn't just a coin. It's a test of awareness, a test of who's paying attention and who's letting wealth pass them by. Let me share something personal. I once had a friend who laughed when I told him to check his pocket change. He thought it was silly until one day he pulled out a coin, looked closely, and realized it was worth a few $1,000s. Just like that, his entire perspective shifted. He told me, "I'll never look at coins the same way again." Funny how a penny can humble you, right? Now, maybe you're wondering, why haven't you heard this before? Why isn't this story on the front page of every newspaper? Because collectors protect their knowledge. They thrive on secrets. They want to quietly discover, quietly buy, and quietly profit. But the moment word spreads, the competition begins. The window to find and profit shrinks. That's why this is urgent. That's why now is the time to act. But here's the real cliffhanger. The $996,000 value isn't some random rumor. It's based on actual market trends, verified auctions, and serious buyers. This isn't just theory, it's reality. And it could become your reality if you start looking today. Imagine what nearly $1 million could do. Pay off your debts, fund your retirement, buy your dream home, give your family the life they deserve. All because you took a second glance at a coin most people dismiss. So the question is, will you keep treating pennies like pocket lint? Or will you start searching with the eyes of someone who knows their true potential? Because right now, sitting in a coin jar, a desk drawer, or even your wallet could be the very penny that changes your life. And if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most people. You're curious, you're motivated, and you're ready to uncover hidden wealth where no one else dares to look. Don't let that momentum go. Make it a habit. Start checking every penny. Share this knowledge with people you care about and keep learning. Before you click away, here's your next step. Subscribe right now. This channel is dedicated to uncovering the secrets that others keep locked away. I'll guide you coin by coin, showing you where wealth hides in plain sight. Because sometimes the difference between a life of struggle and a life of freedom really is just one penny.